Very nice. Hello folks, Jack here from Peach Guitars. Welcome to the Wednesday live stream. As I alluded to in the Instagram story that you may have seen, we've got a special guest today, and it was given away straight away by his very manly and present presence. This is Greg Dunning.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Welcome, Greg.
I just wanted to bring awareness to our protective measures today.
That's right. So it's my pleasure to finally actually have someone else to do this with, but we've done it properly. We've got this protective screen between us, which is not only COVID safe, but Greg's been known to be a bit handsy.
An overactive saliva gland.
Yeah. Yeah, so none of that is going to be an issue here today. We've also got separate guitars to talk about. We've got separate input signals. Yeah. Oh boy.
And our ears are protected because we have the beautiful 2 Notes Captor X as well.
Look at this guy. Straight in with the sales pitch. Okay, so let me kind of explain what we're doing today.
Pick.
While Greg grabs his pick. So a little bit different today. We're going to go for more of a kind of product-specific focus today, just to keep things on track a little bit and make it easier for you to understand what I'm actually babbling about, because these things tend to go off the rails a little bit. So we've got a bunch of products that are exclusive to Peach Guitars, and we thought it would be a good idea to actually show you the full extent of that range. So it's not only guitars. There's some amp lines that we've got here that you can't get anywhere else. We've got some pedals as well. So Greg is going to help me kind of walk through the full extent of that range. And this is probably going to continue into the future anyway, because there is so much stuff that we're not even going to scratch the surface of today, that this is the place to get it from. So I hope that you're going to enjoy this. I hope you've all had a good week, by the way. To those who tuned into last week's live stream, you'll see everything is different once again. So we're constantly trying to evolve these until we settle on what works.
Yeah.
I've got a good feeling about this one though, Greg.
That makes 2 of us.
Yeah, okay. All right, so yes, Greg very kindly pointed out that we're playing through the 2 Notes Captor X, which is back here. This was the focus of last week's live stream, so if you want to find out more about that, you can check out that video once you're through here. We really went in depth with it, but for all these live videos going forwards, we're going to be using that basically just to capture whatever amp we're using and send it into the computer so you can hear it. Just easier than using microphones in this situation, and it's just such a brilliant product. So we're actually using it as an attenuator as well.
For the
Dr. Z Jetta.
Yes.
You're too efficient for me, Greg. I can't keep up. Yeah, Dr. Z is an exclusive amp line to us here. So we've got the Jetta as a kind of way just to serve as a bit of a pedal platform amp today, which is working out very nicely.
Yeah,
and
sounds great.
Without the attenuator, it's pretty loud.
It's too loud. Yeah.
So we've notched it down considerably with the 2 Notes.
Yeah. How have we got it set, Aidan, on that end? What's going on with our IRs? What are we?
Well, with you, everything's in the unit today.
It's just a stock.
Yeah,
kind of thing, is it?
We're plugged straight into the interface.
It sounded great through the monitors. When we had it turned off, it sounded really good. I just wondered what it was. And that's just me, anyway. Sorry.
No, fair question. But yeah, it's plain and simple, straight through and through. So we'll kind of dive into the amp, I guess, maybe in a little bit, but the guitars are the kind of primary focus because we've got so many to talk about. So I played in on this. We're not going to spend too long talking about this guitar because there is a feature video coming up very soon where I'll spend a lot more time talking about this. And I have already talked about this in previous videos. The Wood Library, Custom 24. So we're currently the only place in the UK that you can get your hands on these guitars. And there are very, very many of them. I don't know. Do you know how many we got?
I don't know. There's a few.
It's double digits, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those guitars. When I first saw them come out, we did an unboxing with Jeff. Did we do an unboxing? Were you?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think I saw them.
When I first saw them, it was. I mean, it's a very familiar kind of thing, but it's the neck that is the belle of the ball. if you like.
Certainly is.
But there's images on the website of the product in depth,
Yeah.
so you can select your favourite, your favourite neck cut of wood, I suppose. The figuring, because they're all very different, but they are all insanely good.
Sublime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it justice by showing you this really right here, but
No.
you remarked with a few choice words when you saw this neck.
It's not very often you get guitars. It happens a bit more nowadays, but it's not very often you get guitars where it's the top that used to make you go, "Oh wow, look at the top on that." But now it's the neck, isn't it? We're all going like, "Oh, look at the neck on that! It's amazing." So it's just they've just taken their kind of, I suppose the selection of woods that PRS have is unreal anyway. But the what they've got on these guitars, it just seems insane because we were talking about it earlier. It's not quite. It's getting towards artist pack kind of territory, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how the tiering system works with PRS.
Because they keep changing it.
They do. They like to keep everyone on their toes, but whatever it is,
Yeah.
this works for me.
Yeah.
And you're right to point out the neck. The roasted maple just feels different.
Yeah.
And sounds different as well.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've remarked on before.
It's a little bit more stable as well, isn't it? It doesn't shuffle about as much as a regular neck does a little bit. And the other thing as well that I remarked on earlier was the pickups, what they're doing now with the, you say it, I can't remember what it was.
They're TCI pickups, and these are the 3520 set. So we can only guess that it's the 35th anniversary and it's 2020. That's where I guess the moniker comes from.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to start with this anyway, just to kind of make you aware of the fact of how brilliant these are. But you're going to see more content with these coming up, more in depth in the future. So I'm going to get rid of this, much as it pains me to do so. But we've
talked too much about it.
Plenty of other guitars to get through. So I don't know if you want to start out, actually, Greg, with...
Well, I wouldn't mind, actually. If I grab my... I'm not going to say it.
Yes, grab your Gristle Master.
Yes.
All right.
Grab my gristle.
There you are. Do you want the distortion?
Yeah, let's have a little bit of crunch.
All right, we'll talk about what the pedals are
in
a little while, but Greg's going to give you some tones with the Reverend.
I'll just kind of cycle through a couple of different sounds and hopefully it'll be okay. So this has the Fishman Greg Koch.
It's the Fluence.
Set.
Yeah, the Gristle Master set. So we've covered this before, but it's always worth just remembering how brilliant the electronics of this guitar actually is. And you remarked earlier on that this is kind of if you like the sound of a Telly, but maybe you've never vibed with
because
the Fender.
I don't know if you've ever been. Well, you probably haven't because of your excellently athletic digits. But when you...
We'll see what you're going to say first.
I've picked up tellies, and a lot of people probably don't. You pick up a Telecaster, and you love the sound of it, but you just can't quite... It feels a bit unwieldy. And, but with this, they seem to have somehow... Is it me, or is it a slightly thinner body?
I don't know, actually. I don't know if it's thinner, or because...
It's a little bit wider.
Because it's bigger. There's more surface area. Maybe it just seems...
So you've got chambered carina. But they've ironed out, sometimes the neck profile is really, really nice and easy to get about. And that's another one of those things. They've kind of ironed out the potential banana skins, if you know what I mean. So you can kind of get around on it, and it still sounds it sounds perfect. It's got all the tones, but it's done away with the big old necks that some people don't like, the kind of old school radiuses, because we go from 10 to 14 on this. So you can do some ridiculous playing on it.
It's quite flat, isn't it? All the way out. I mean, it's quite a skinny neck.
But it doesn't feel uncomfortable. It doesn't feel weird. even though it's on a telly, and you think, oh, it's going to feel odd, but it feels great. And that coupled with the pickups, you can kind of move between like a blackguard sound, which is obviously the best one.
Well, yes. Well,
you don't think so, but or out, which is the white guard. But
well, go ahead.
The blackguard is a bit fatter sounding, isn't it?
It is.
Wiry.
Yeah, it's a bit more open, more typically telly, I think. But the blackguard sound is, like you said, fatter.
Yep.
More mids, more output.
And another thing that is a really nice little feature, which I love, is the 6-bolt, which you probably can't see that from there, but they're the 6-bolt neck bolt. It's something that, I don't know if you might know this, back in the old days, Eddie Van Halen used to do it to some of his Kramers.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he? But were they proper
very badly done.
Nuts of a car or something?
Yeah. So it just gives it a bit more. If you kind of shuffle around, it gives it a bit more stability, and it's just maybe gives you a bit more tonal transference. I don't know, but it just feels good.
They're solid, aren't they?
And these are exclusive in this colour to us here at Peach.
Correct.
And we've got, how many have we got left, Aidan? 11, and we had a lot, I think.
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but more than that.
We had more than 11.
We had more than that, but this is what we have now.
But yeah, and you can, on the website, there's a little drop-down menu, you can choose, we weigh them all, we individually photograph all the products, and you can basically choose your favourite one, which is, for me, the cheapest one.
Well, ordinarily.
Yeah.
Although I think there's a bit of a theme here, because pretty much all these guitars, pretty much all the ones we're going to show you, that's the case. There's multiples of them. Certainly the two that you're going to talk about. The wood libraries, there's several of those, like I said. This Revolter, which I'll talk about in a moment, several of those. So you can pick your guitar, like you said.
Yeah.
For pretty much any of these.
And then once they're picked, you'd select it on your site, and then it would then go to our boys in the tech room and have the Peach magic sprinkled on them, and then sent to whenever you like them sent. So it's just a little bit extra that we do as well before things go out. It's not just we've got stacks of boxes and they just fly out the door. It's just they would get them out, check them all.
Everything gets a setup. Everything gets a rub down, as it were.
I'll be in there later.
Yeah.
Receiving my rub down.
Well, there we are. So you won't receive any of that, of course. I've got a question here from Farhan Rahman, who says, do these tellies, or I presume you mean this guitar, have rounded off armrests, or are they sharp edges?
Yeah, they don't have any kind of chamfered edges, which I really like, because you get a lot of the popular tellies like the, I suppose, Cotsons and things like that have the kind of bit in the belly cut. Yeah. But because that's why I'm sure it's a little bit thinner. It doesn't feel weird when you're playing it, and it doesn't have that kind of, you're getting a dead arm when you play it. So no, but you don't really notice it.
And just one thing to point out as well, because I played this guitar before in a live video, and I think I look pretty stupid, personally, because it's a bit bigger. And I'm used to seeing a telly in a certain proportion. But Greg is a proper man. How tall are you, Greg?
6'2". So I'm not Gregory Cockery height. I mean, he's like 9'10"
right?
or something.
That's kind of...
Yeah. It's designed for the longer man.
I suppose so. I mean, I say I look stupid, but maybe.
But it does, because that extra bit of body, the chamber carina, it sounds snappy and good, and nothing's getting lost. It's still got a lot of definition, because it's like they've added a bit of that, but they've taken a bit of that off it. Yeah. So you've still got perhaps the same amount of wood that you
might be right, actually. Maybe it is a thinner body. Yeah. I'm not sure.
My eyes say yes. I'm going to put it out there.
Yeah, I'm going to take your word for it.
Yeah.
No quibbles there. But yeah, this is the Butterscotch Blonde, which is a great name.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a Peach exclusive in this colour. There are other colours available, but I remarked before, I think this one, being that Greg, not yourself, unless you do and you haven't told me, Greg Koch has a 53 telly, and I kind of think that maybe this one's a little closer to his heart because of the aesthetics of that guitar. Yeah. I'm putting words in his mouth, but that's just what I think anyway. Yeah. I really like that finish.
And
you like that?
Yeah, it's just a nice little touch. locking machine heads as well, and you can obviously charge the pickups, I believe, through the little USB.
Yes.
In there.
And I love those pickups. I've got them in my exotic telly. I put that pickup set in, and it does transform the guitar.
Yeah, it really does. And you kind of think you have to get over that. I mean, I always think things like you charge it up with a USB, the pickups, it's witchcraft. But this really does sound, I mean, with someone else that can play properly, but it sounds supernatural, like really, and the tone, the roll off on the volume. Really, really good.
You get that nice treble bleed effect.
Yeah.
There's no high frequencies lost.
Yep. It doesn't sound artificial, doesn't feel artificial, it's got a great feel. And it doesn't feel awkward like I sometimes find Telecasters. But you like that fight sometimes.
Yeah.
But this is for someone who wants that telly thing, but doesn't want that telly thing. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. It's a bit more refined.
Yeah.
The gentleman's Telecaster, perhaps.
Yes.
If you will. What? Anyway, so if you've got any questions about this guitar, then let us know in the live chat, because we will try and answer any question that you put in there. We've also got Aidan here, who's on it with the specs and the web links and stuff like that. So everything you need to know is going to be in the live chat if we don't talk about it. But yeah, if you've got a question, drop it in there. I think we're up to date with the questions. This is an absolute relief, because in previous live videos, I'm babbling away and playing, and I miss tons of your questions. So now I've got Greg here. I can actually, we've got a system.
I mean, that writing is too small for me to read, so.
Oh, okay. Well, at least pretend. Right. Well, in that case, then, I'll do as much playing as possible. So what this is the other R company that's an exclusive to Peach, which is very cool. This is Revolter. So these guitars are kind of derived from the Dennis Fano school of thought. So you may know Fano guitars, quite a high-end builder. A few years ago, he was more prominent with making guitars. There's also Novo guitars now as well, which is kind of his higher-end forte. And Revolter is kind of born of those design ideals, but at a more affordable price point. Hopefully that makes sense. We've covered these a lot. This particular model is the Combinator. I believe there's some letters and numbers after it, aren't there? But
Blue.
They escape me. Yeah, it's the blue one. This is the Peach exclusive, and it happens to be one of the best guitars from them that I've played.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's
entirely satin finish, which I don't know why, but it does feel a little bit more premium sometimes. Same with that Reverend you just played, like having the unfinished neck.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm sure a lot of people do, because it just feels more comfortable. It feels more moldable to your hand. You called it the blue one.
Yes.
It's one of the best colours, I think, that they do as well.
Yeah, it is really good. And because it's in that kind of flat satin finish, it really is a really bold look.
Yeah, it is. And everything else is really clean and crisp. It's all white.
And I'm not sure what that trem is on there, but it is absolutely brilliant.
It's cool, isn't it? It's I don't know if it's their own design or something like that. I don't think I've seen it on any other guitars.
No,
but
very, very cool.
All right, we're in tune, so let me show you what it sounds like.
Say to you before you then segue into something, you did a bit of kind of Quentin Tarantino-esque.
I was just going to mention that.
And that sounded amazing. Tons of reverb.
Good ear for this stuff.
Yeah, it sounded really, really good.
This is where the humble P90 pickup comes into its own, because it just does a bit of everything. But as you just pointed out,
Sounds great. Really,
Cool,
really
isn't
sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah, so Revolter kind of, I feel, they have so many different guitars that don't necessarily get the appreciation that they're due because there are so many guitars. So it's hard to narrow down what's actually right for you. I kind of feel like this is one of the best all-rounders for so many different people.
Yeah.
Because the feature set is just, there's not too much going on with it.
Yeah.
2 pickups, a tremolo, 24 frets, which I like about these guitars as well.
Yeah.
So they're just a little bit different. You know, it's not going after one particular style of guitar.
I always think it's kind of taken things a bit Rickenbacker-esque,
Yeah.
a bit Gibson-esque.
It is a bit.
Some of those kind of weird surfy casters, those kind of, you can imagine Jack White playing something, that kind of thing, and they've kind of mixed it all up, which you could get it wrong really easily, couldn't you? But every design they've kind of done, you kind of, even the ones that are a bit more out there, you find yourself going, yeah, I quite like that. It's very, very clever how they've done it.
I'm a very boring person, but even I can get on board with these guitars. Right? I'll show you a bit of distortion with it.
So you do that, do you?
I do some
you
of
play
that.
all that modern music.
I sometimes do. Yeah. Check this out. Even with some gain, it's dynamic.
Yeah.
Same thing with that telly.
And you rolled the volume off there.
Yeah.
And it cleaned up nice as well. Mm-hmm. Which is an important thing nowadays. A lot of people use the kind of volume a lot more than they used to. Like, it was always just stamp on things, pedals, and now they kind of use the guitar a lot more, don't they?
Definitely. I mean, I think there's room for both approaches, but there are people out there that don't vibe with the whole pedal route and channel switching and stuff like that. And I think, like you say, there's definitely the rise now of people gravitating to guitars that are more simplistic and just give you a great tone, and then you can just play with the controls really easily.
While you're there with that, can you play that with the Javelina Fuzz that we've got on the floor?
You gave away what we got on the floor.
Yeah, I thought I'd just ruin it.
Fair enough. No, it's about time.
Just because you can kind of leave that on.
Let's turn the amp gain up a little bit.
Yeah, turn it up so it's got something to work it on a little bit more.
So yeah, this is just the amp, and then I'm going to turn the fuzz pedal on, which I'll talk to you about in a second. Does all that.
Sounds great.
Does all that
really
nicely.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that was just for me.
No, I appreciate you doing that. So that's actually a good little segue into some of the other stuff that's on the floor. So, in the spirit of keeping things with the exclusive nature, we've got a couple of way huge pedals here, and Greg is actually the perfect guy to talk about this too. These were pedals that were prototype.
Yeah, well, one of them, I believe, because this goes back a couple of years to when I was in a different format. You
had a life before Peach Guitars.
Yeah. Well, we came here with George Trips did a clinic here, and I played, and we sort of did, that was back when I was working with someone else, and we brought these pedals, and basically John, the boss here, bought all the pedals from George. So we've got a Javelina Fuzz, which is, can we unplug it and wave it around?
I guess it won't be...
Can you walk up to the camera with it, just so people can see it? Because it's a limited edition. I'll tell you in a minute when we catch up. Yeah. So the So the Javelina Fuzz, I think originally wasn't going to be available in the UK. I think it came out in 2014, the normal version. This has got different, just a different box, and this was from, I believe it was from George Tripps's stash that he had with him at the time, and it's a Germanium Fuzz, used new old stock parts. So the germanium transistors in that, I think this is going to go rooting around in my brain a little bit, but they were ROS compliant because they weren't. They were basically had too much lead in them.
Yeah.
So these were treated, and they didn't have too much lead in them.
Okay.
So you still get that. It's kind of based on a a Hendrixy kind of
fuzz facey type.
Yeah, so fuzz face.
It's cool because it's got a tone control as well, which a lot of those.
just filtering. So it's not an active tone control. It's all passive, and that's kind of part of its magic. It's just that real old school.
Yeah.
Fuzz pedal.
But this particular one, as you'll have seen, has got these, I don't know, they look
peacock
hand drawn. I don't know. Actually.
Yeah, we don't really know the story behind it.
Whatever they are,
but there's not many around at all.
I think someone said about six or seven maybe exist.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So it's definitely single figures. It's a very cool pedal, and we can, I suppose, segue.
Yeah.
From that, I don't know. Hey, now, do you know? Have we got that's on the site? I can't remember off the top of my head how much that is. We'll come back to that.
It'll be linked in the in the chat at some point. Were you going to say about the other?
Yes, the effect pedal.
Yes. Okay.
So I assume you like that Joe Bonamassa bloke.
I do. Yeah.
He's a terrifying guitar player, such as yourself.
I've been told I sound like him, but not in the way that I would
Want
like
to.
Vocally. I sound like him. I don't know if that's true. He was using, I think, a popular pedal on his pedal board in front of his amp, and I think George Tripps was at this gig, and he was like, "Oh." I love how loyal you are.
There's not.
It was another pedal.
It is a great pedal, but I think he said, "Let me make something for you." I think that was how it went.
Yeah.
And I think he just wanted to make him something. And I think Joe Bonamassa put something on Instagram, and that's just game over then, isn't it? Everyone's like, what is that?
Yeah.
I need that pedal. So it's based off of...
came from the Green Rhino, I think.
Yeah. Which is a tube screamer kind of thing with some tweaks. And this has brought all the tweakability out onto the front of it. So it became the overrated special. This is the kind of a clone of his original box.
Right. Okay.
That might need you to wave it in front of the camera again. But then I suppose we can link that into the...
Yeah. It's buried in a bit of a nest of cables, that one,
well,
unfortunately.
We'll get it out later.
We can, I'll show you later, or there'll be a link.
See the story behind that, and then it's got a frequency control on the top, and you can sort of pump your mids up so you can cut through. You almost don't need a volume boost with that kind of thing. You can just stamp on it and bring up your mids, cut through everything.
Do you want to have...
And melt some face.
Would you like to melt some face?
No, but I will...
Go for it. Go for it.
You can move the controls around.
Okay, yeah. I mean, one thing, you said that this is one of the prototype units, and I think it comes with some whiskey.
Yes, sorry, it does. Yeah, I forgot that.
Which I think is that pedal anyway. One of the two does. That George Tripps...
blended his own,
himself.
he blends his own whiskey.
Which, I think we're all due a little more whiskey at this stage of the
mean,
world.
it's a little early, and we have to drive home. So
we're in a whiskey-fueled year by this time. Right, let's see what it sounds like.
Can you twizzle some knobs for me?
Tell me what you'd like.
So on the left-hand side, I believe, is the frequency control. So if you kind of...
Shall I sweep it
Yes,
so you can
yeah.
You said before that's like about what, 500 hertz, 900 hertz, something?
There was a story to that as well. I think there was initially that on some you might find they have a different number on, because I think they just realised, and then it just became the frequency control.
Yeah,
it's all in
keep
there.
it broad.
Yeah.
But what's nice about that is that the most common complaint about tube screamers is that mid hump.
Yeah.
Some people really like it.
Yeah,
Some
absolutely.
people don't.
Yeah. So you can. This is kind of more of a tweakable tube screamer, and then the original, the one that's available, the overrated special, kind of is designed. It looks like a dumbly looking graphic aesthetic, but it is essentially like a Green Rhino with a few tweaks.
And that's got EQ sliders as well, hasn't it? That you can use.
The Green Rhino, there's
the what's it called?
Oh, there's the double end, double end, yeah. So that's two stuck together, which is the same thing but just on sliders. That's a very cool pedal.
But this is one of the original protos. So
yeah.
The rest is pretty straight across the board, isn't it?
Yeah,
volume, tone, drive.
But the cool thing is it comes with some whiskey that George made.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
I don't know of any other pedal that's ever sold with liquid in its box.
You should do more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's all the drive tones you're going to hear today are that effect pedal, which is based on the overrated special, and we've got the Javelina Fuzz as well.
Yeah.
So those should be, Aiden's linked them in, thank you, mate. So if you want to check out the range, follow that link.
Yes, it's good stuff.
Now, a couple of people, Jason Hobbs, welcome sir, you mentioned the Alt T and the Dr. Z. I know you've just bought one of those, so congratulations on that. Yeah, so this leads nicely into that magnificent guitar.
Yeah. So this is the Dealer Select Alt T.
Yeah.
So it varies slightly from the regular Alt T in as much that we have got a snazzy roasted maple neck.
Yep.
Limited or custom colour, I believe.
Yeah, limited colours.
Yeah, and we've gone with the Thornbuckers.
Yeah.
Which are my favourite pickups. I know that, I mean, it's not about me, but it's cool. I think a lot of us here quite like these.
Yeah, as opposed to the SSVs, which come in the regular guitar, they're a little bit more mid-rangey, more like a typical PAF sound. I love the SSV pickup as well, but for this guitar, I think this is where it sings.
Yeah, should I just cycle? Yeah, I'll just cycle through some. I'll just bang some chords.
Do you want the gain on?
Yeah, let's have a bit of gain. Okay. So we'll just start with the humbucker. Ridiculously versatile, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can do everything on a gig with that.
It's one of my favourite guitars in the world. In fact, when exactly. When gigs come back, when I used to play more gigs, do you remember that?
I do, yeah.
I would this was my main guitar really for gigging because it does so much stuff, and because it's semi-hollow, you get that nice airiness as well. But I just think that the tweaks that have been made on this Dealer Select guitar, particularly the roasted maple, the pickup change, like you said, and some colours that just weren't available before. I can't remember if this is one of them, but there's like Fiesta Red, Shell Pink, Butterscotch Blonde, couple of others, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the kind of classic colours.
Yeah,
isn't it? So I think this is one
California
of them.
colours.
Yeah, because I think in the past we've seen them in natural black, sunburst, and maybe white. Yeah,
there's white and I think possibly blue.
Yeah,
Sonic blue.
Yeah, so we've got the Sonic blue here, and with the tortoise plate, it looks fantastic.
Yeah,
but it kind of nicely straddles that kind of vintage modern almost perfectly, doesn't it?
It does.
You've got the kind of all the kind of the vintage tones in there.
It's very much the same wiring as the Pete Thorn.
Yeah.
So
it's bridge humbucker.
bridge humbucker, yeah.
Position 2.
That's both pickups split coil.
Yeah.
So like a telly in between sound.
Yeah.
Middle position is both humbuckers.
Yeah.
Then you get the neck
single.
split. Yeah, single coil and then neck humbucker. So it's an amazing array of different sounds.
But you've got all those sounds in there, but you've got the kind of slightly more easily playable radius, which I believe, I'm not sure what the radius is on this.
I think they're compound.
It's going to be compound, isn't it?
Radius. I think you might be right before.
9 to 12. It's just kind of vintage compound radius, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah. But so it's really, really playable.
And they're stainless steel frets as well, which just makes it, I find, really comfortable and really zingy as well. Yeah. So it's really a lifesaver. Do you want me to plug you into the fuzz?
Yeah, yeah.
And you can get some fuzzy action. That's something I love about that guitar. Is that you can go from full bore to that split coil sound. And
so 1 minute we're brilliant.
It's such a great sounding guitar just for any application.
Yeah.
Like it can do the stratty neck thing quite well.
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of give
not
it...
Not 100%, but...
Yeah, but... That's not too bad, is it? It's kind of got a nice bit of spank there, and you wouldn't think that was a split pickup. I think these pickups split really, really nicely in this.
Yeah, and again, like you said before with the Reverend, it's kind of... I'm not saying... This isn't trying to be a Telecaster through and through, but it's obviously
kind of
taken
its
inspiration.
own thing, isn't it? But it takes a lot of... takes a bit of that and a bit of that and keeps it all in this nice package, which is extremely versatile and ridiculously well made.
Yes.
And it highlights all your terrible mistakes and techniques.
No, it hasn't done so far. Has not done so far. So, I mean, that's a nice little smattering of T-style guitars, but maybe you like S-style guitars.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
This is... Oh, that felt dirty, actually.
Oh.
So, this is the other thing that I think maybe it's maybe been overlooked in recent months, just because we've had such an amazing abundance of new stock turn-up. Guitars like the Sirs, the exclusives like the Revolters, the Reverends. But Exotic were one of the first that we took on, I think, as an exclusive. I don't know the whole history exactly,
but again, this is... I don't know if you can... you might have to try just to get that neck up to that camera. Because it's just...
Yes, I will do that.
Can we do that, Aidan? Is that going to mess everything up? Is it going to make everything explode? Yeah. But yeah, it's just... If you can get it, it's just... It's ridiculous. Unreal.
Yeah. And the top is pretty cool as well. So I picked this one because this is like a quilty maple top, which looks great on top of an older wood body with that roasted maple neck. So this is actually, I don't know if any of that was audible because I was away from the microphone, but this is actually part of the Exotique lineup.
Yeah.
So
this is master grade.
Yeah.
Call it master grade neck.
Master grade woods, and it's basically like their custom shop.
Yeah.
So that's why guitars like this can exist, because you wouldn't normally see an S style with a flame top.
No.
or with gold hardware, which I really like.
And do you know what? This is, again, it's such a good top on that guitar.
Yeah.
But what do you notice when you pick up? It's
I
the
noticed
neck
the
again.
gold.
Oh, do you? For me, I just think that
Oh, the
that
neck, yeah,
flame
fair
on the
enough.
neck is unreal.
Let's just get it.
So this is Exotic are quite a cool, well, they're a very cool little brand because their hardware and their pickups are very, very good as well, aren't they? They do their raw vintage.
It's all in-house, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is cool because they're proprietary pickups on this guitar. I think they're. I don't know exactly which ones these are, the RV50s or the 60s, or maybe there's something different, but.
They are a XSC2 single coil and a RV humbucker.
Okay, XSC2 single coils. Let me show you what it sounds like. I just want to make sure I'm not doing something stupid here because I think I've got there it goes.
That sounds pretty good.
It's cool, isn't it?
Very good, yeah.
I think, for me anyway, the two most versatile guitars on the market is an HSS
Yeah.
S style and something like that where
Yeah.
it's got humbuckers,
Yeah.
maybe sometimes a set neck like a PRS, but with the option of split coils. This will be an interesting thing in the live chat. I'd like to know whether, if you're looking for a versatile guitar, I kind of think there's two ways to do it, and these guitars sum it up. You either go for, like we said, the S style with a humbucker, or you go for a humbucker guitar like a PRS with a set neck that has split coil options. Those are the two big things for me.
But they equally, any one of those three, you can't go wrong either, can you?
You certainly cannot.
You really can't go
Certainly
wrong.
cannot. But
'Cause they're all-
let us know in the live chat what your preference is if you want versatility. But I think that these two guitars are definitely two of the most versatile. I mean, that's kind of a buzzword that has almost become redundant because people say everything's versatile now.
Yeah, I suppose there is that.
But
it's just how a lot of these brands go about it in a different way. And
yeah,
I mean, HSS. Is it the most popular setup nowadays? How many guitars do we sell more HSS than SSS? I don't know really. I think it's still the three singles is still very much a thing, isn't it? Especially
it is. There's definitely a bit of a stigma against the humble
There
strap
is.
bridge pickup, which it's not for everybody.
no.
But something like this obviously remedies that. This doesn't have any coil split option for the bridge humbucker, but I don't think you need it when a humbucker is made well.
Because it's a kind of a faithful kind of repro of a PAF, isn't it? So you kind of get that twang in there. So when you maybe you can check it out, try it, bit of crunch, but then clean it up a bit, see what we get out of it.
not a Telecaster, but it cleans up nicely.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Revolter. I think we're talking about that, where just people like guitars now that respond to what your hands are doing.
Yeah.
A little bit more, perhaps, than the way things used to be, where people were relying on more channel switching amps.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a different way of doing things, but it's timeless. It certainly is timeless.
I did see a message from Jason Hobbs that says, thanks. I think he needs that guitar. I think Jason needs that one.
You probably do, Jason, yeah. Do you have an HSS Strat? Or an S-Style, forgive me?
See, Exotic was one of those, when the world was different, back sort of earlier in the year, people used to come in store, and Exotic was one of those brands that people, when they see it, they're like, whoa, oh my God. But because people haven't been coming in, it's not... I think it's one of those things, maybe you have to see it in the flesh a bit more. I don't know, it's a weird one, but they are incredible guitars.
They are. People ask this all. It's one of the most common questions I get. Probably the same for you and a lot of the sales guys here. Is that what's the differences between an Exotic and a Sir? And my go-to answer is usually that if you like more of a Fender feel and tone, more of a traditional, then the Exotic is maybe a little closer to that, but with a few modern refinements. But it's got that vintage vibe. Whereas a Sir
is more modern, isn't it?
Is more contemporary,
yeah, definitely. And the neck profile on the Exotics is, I think, a little bit different. Maybe they seem to have a little bit more, I don't know, meat around the shoulder of the neck. I don't know. It's
yeah. Do you know what? This is actually, it's not a big neck, but it's round.
Yeah.
Especially when you play
comfortable.
After that Sir or after a Reverend, in particular, I always find these are they're a little plumper.
Yes. A little plumper.
So you'd always use the word plumper if possible.
Get that on the description.
And Jason, you point out that they're usually lighter in weight. That is true. This guitar's a little heavier, I think, because it's got the maple top.
The T's especially.
But the T's are ridiculously light.
Really resonant, really lightweight.
But yeah, they've got cool little vintage vibes. They've got locking tuners, but they look like vintage tuners. So little touches like that I personally do like about Exotic.
Great hardware, lovely timbers they use.
Yeah.
Just really nicely made guitars. And I think they work really hard because it's such a competitive marketplace.
Yeah.
So they have to really go at it.
Yeah, and just whatever they're doing it right. But this, like I say, is kind of the step above because this is the Exotique line.
Yeah, we're into this is serious gear.
Yeah. And they're kind of, as far as I know anyway, they are one-of-one guitars. I remember seeing a few of these at the NAMM show, and I think they were just, like, that guitar was there available.
Yeah.
You had to purchase it if you wanted it. And that's what we were fortunate enough to be able to do with a few of them, I think this being one of them. So there's a very limited selection of these left, but it's worth having a look at some of the other options. And
it sounds a kind of, kind of thing to say, but I know there is going to be a price increase on them as well, about 18%, I believe, just because of how things are now. And so then once these ones are gone, they're all going to be a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, I think that will probably apply to anything on the stage.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way of the world, I suppose, isn't it?
Which is unfortunate, but there's something going on outside of these doors.
Yes,
which isn't pleasant.
No.
But just for a recap, in case you joined partway through, all this stuff is exclusive to this store, Peach Guitars. All the guitars, the amp we're playing through, which if you missed it is the Dr. Z Jetta. We're very proud to stock Dr. Z, and we're the only people who do in the UK. We're using the 2 notes Torpedo Captor X, and the 2 pedals that you'll have heard, the gain pedals. I'll just run through them in a moment one more time so you can hear them. The Way Huge prototype. These are probably, I think, possibly my favourite thing on the stage, these 2 pedals, because they're just... there'll
really,
never
really
be
cool.
another example of those.
And I was just going to get the... you keep talking.
Okay, well, I'll do some playing on the 2 pedals, the Way Huge Javelina and the effect pedal, which is basically an overrated special.
So this, what I've got here, this is what comes with the effect pedal, which is the overrated special.
That's
so
awesome.
you get this. You probably can't hear me now.
He says this is what comes with the overrated, with the effect pedal. Yeah, little whiskey miniature, which is just that's cool, is it not?
So you must be over 18.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So they are only available on our Reverb store because they come with a little bottle of whiskey.
There you go.
And there is only one.
And the pedal that comes with that whiskey, the free pedal that comes with that whiskey, is it sounds like this. Once again. There we are. A lot of waffling, but there's a lot of information here today. So hopefully there'll be something here that maybe you didn't realise we did, or that we had the exclusive on. A lot of stuff, but something a bit of exciting news to share, isn't it?
I did. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well done. Yeah, we were listed as one of the top 100 dealers in. This is global in the world, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. There's only 3 in Europe, 2 in the UK, and a lot of places probably in the States, I would have thought. But this is by the NAM guys, so very proud of that.
And I will say, we couldn't have done that without your help.
Yes.
For watching the videos we make and for your amazing custom throughout this very interesting time globally. So we're very, very pleased. And all we ask is that you head to the website, which will be linked in the live chat, and you vote for us, I believe. So it's going to be opening next week, is it? 23rd of November. So make sure you head to the website, cast your vote for Peach Guitars as one of the top dealers in the world, which is an amazing,
it's
amazing
very
feat.
exciting.
So thank you so much for your support with that, guys. I've had fun today, Greg.
Oh,
have you?
That's disappointing. No, it's been.
Sorry, but do you want to say something else?
No, it's been really, really good, and it's nice to get out of the office.
Yes. Well, it's been a pleasure to have you.
Yes.
Screen betwixt. But yeah.
But no, I think we will do something again.
Yeah. So
same time, same back channel.
That's right. Live stream will be back next Wednesday, folks, about 4 p.m. Thank you very, very much for watching, as always. Have a great week, and make sure you check out the full list of links in the live chat, or just head to the website if you want to find out any more information about all this stuff. We'll link it in the description.
Or drop us an email or call us. We're all here. We'll chat.
Greg will talk to you on the phone.
Yes.
If that's what you want.
Yeah. If that's
outside
really
of work hours as well. Yeah. Right. That's it. Thanks a lot, Greg.
Right. Cheers, man. Thanks, Jack.
Thanks folks, for watching.
Whee.
Take care. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Want to drink my whiskey?
Go for it.